new crib, watch a movie, cause ain't nothing on the news but the blues.
All right, man, so I talked about this last week. Once again, this change that has happened in America is great. However, there are going to be some individuals that are very upset about this change. They're going to do evil things to prove their point. It was reported that there was a truck driver that ran into a peaceful protest crowd in Virginia. He actually came out and said, I'm a member of the KKK. A similar situation happened in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm not saying these are connected events, but please do not for a second think that
connected.
People, possibly.
Yeah.
You know
Man, that lady down the circle?
Connected by hate, at least.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Send a Klan Raven.
Yeah, definitely connected by hate, for sure.
But once again, man, do not think that these sleeper cells, domestic terrorists, are not ready to pounce. They're not working to actively work against this movement. So I want to bring that to light.
So let me ask you: we're going to DC. What's your fear? I'm geeked to go to DC. I want to take my kids. I want them to see this. There's a legitimate fear that with it being planned so far in ahead, everybody knowing exactly where it's at.
I gotta be very honest. I think if something happens, it's been allowed to happen.
Yeah,
because there's so much advancement, and it's in DC. If something happens down there, it is not a secret.
Yeah, I've never been to DC. I don't know how well guarded these monuments are.
Hey, it's a mall. It's a national mall. So.
There's a lot of monuments to see. Also,
yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be nearly impossible to see anything you want to see. I want to go to the Black History Museum, but I know it's not going.
That's
gonna be
hard.
Nuts.
Walking National Mall is easy.
Yeah,
because everybody's walking.
There's 2 million people there.
Yeah, well, everybody's just walking.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I gotta see the MLK statue.
Got to.
Sure.
Now it's hard to do shit like get up next to Lincoln,
right?
Or get the picture in front of.
I ain't never impressed to get next to Lincoln.
What's crazy?
It's more of a size thing.
Yeah, what's crazy about the Lincoln Memorial is that there's already a whole bunch of people there every day anyway. Yeah. So I can't only imagine what's going to be like that weekend. I've really just, number one, I am worried. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to lie on this podcast. I'm definitely worried about going to the march. You know what I mean? About being sitting ducks for hours as we, march on the same day.
Who's speaking?
I can't wait for the speakers list to come out. I know it's going to be
I'm geeked. I think it's going to be some performances. It's going to be tight. It's on the same day of MLK's I Have a Dream speech, which is even crazier. So it's very sentimental, man. I'm excited. But I'm definitely worried, for sure.
I just think about how impactful it would be if, like, my dad would have been like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We were at the I Have a Dream speech.
It's crazy.
Me,
you want to be able to tell this story,
so
man.
I don't want to miss that for my kids, especially living out here.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's people that are from Whitestown that are going as well.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm going to do that shout out. Shout out to my neighborhood. They had a Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. People going.
They're not going.
It's somebody.
They did their part. They're not going.
It's people.
Did your neighbors participate left and right?
I don't know. I can ask and make them feel bad.
Yeah, we were out there.
They can lie. They can lie if they need to.
Yeah,
solid, my brother.
So, of course, the looting has been connected to the black community, of course. And there was a Minneapolis precinct that was set on fire early on in the last week when the uprisings, I'll call them uprisings, started happening.
Civil disobedience.
Right, civil disobedience happens. And it turns out that this guy named Brad was the individual that burned the precinct down. What bothers me the most is not the fact that he was a white guy, but it bothers me that they were so easy to find him, put him in handcuffs, and put him in jail.
So you think it's not real?
No, I definitely think it's real. What I'm saying is find the cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
They know who the cops are.
I know, but find them, convict them, put them in the jail.
You keep saying find them. They know who they are. They know where they're at.
They know where they're at. They know where they stay. They know where they
You know what I'm saying?
They know where they lay their head.
Lock them up.
Right. We need justice. You know what I mean? Oh, and one thing I wanted to say, last thing, man.
They ain't on the run. They at home.
Right. They eating Whoppers.
I want to say,
go ahead.
We gave Minneapolis a lot of credit for burning that precinct down. Did we take some of that street cred back?
That picture's iconic.
Fucking Antifa.
Nah, I'm with it. Shit.
That doesn't mean now. Do we know that the dude wasn't with the movement?
Yeah, we gave
I'm not sure about that.
We said Minneapolis was about that action. That's not what we meant.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's not.
That's not what we meant.
Did I see the tweet? It was really funny. Minneapolis is the dude sitting in the corner. You don't know got hands to the fight break out.
That's Bo. It's my nigga Bo. He's from Minneapolis.
That's Minneapolis. We had no idea they was gonna set the world on fire.
When we saw that, it all made sense. I said that's why Bo is the way he is.
He's really from out there.
Minneapolis got a gun.
Shit.
Minneapolis got a gun.
Yeah, shit popped off Minneapolis. Let me show y'all what we about.
My nigga Bo's from Minnesota, and he's really cool until otherwise.
Until it's time.
Yeah, until otherwise.
Right.
And it's game time.
Head getting cracked.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because you never would be like,
Head
I
bustle.
guarantee if the country about Minnesota gonna lead the church. Said no one ever. We're pulling Chicago out immediately. Shots down leading the charge.
Is the new Selma. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Right. But I want to say, man, last thing, I think it's important, though, as people, we continue to educate ourselves on the issue. Just because we black don't mean we know everything.
No.
So make sure you do your best to stay informed. Revisit 13th. It sucks. Revisit when they see it.
Again,
it sucks.
Man. It's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. But I know.
But if you ain't seen it once yet, man, go watch the 13th.
There's also
triggering. I don't want to see it.
There's also some free movies. Jamel was just talking about A Birth of a Movement.
Just Mercy's for free right now.
Just Mercy.
Leash won't let me watch it.
It's good.
Why?
She don't like hating white people. She has to work with them.
Be honest about how you feel about Just Mercy.
Just Mercy is a very good movie, but Michael B. Jordan was outacted by everybody in that movie.
Everybody?
Yes.
Brie Larson beat him.
The very first
Captain Marvel
beat
beat
him.
The
very first scene, he's outacted.
You know how white people hate black people sometimes? That's how he hates Michael B. Jordan.
It's not true. Hey, Michael B. on this podcast right now. I'd be geeked.
If there was a Klan against Michael B. Jordan, you'd have a hood.
I wouldn't be in there. I might know the passphrase.
I don't kick it with him. I know the grip.
And some falcon wings on his back.
The passphrase might be Creed too.
And them weak ass goggles.
Garbage ass
goggles. Falcon.
Oh, they brought my nigga.
You know they did. That's how it always goes to this.
Sucks to my mans. But nah, man, it's important to make sure that we also do our best to unlearn, unpackage our history. So
I watched. Speaking of which, I watched a documentary. It's called "King in the Jungle" or "The Wilderness." It's about Martin Luther King, but like his last couple years.
Damn.
And
it weren't nonviolent.
Yeah, it was cool to watch how he was. So basically,
they love to pull that out.
And he didn't die in that hospital. That picture they showed y'all is from when he got stabbed, not from after.
The internet's dangerous, but it kind of showed how he was being pulled in so many different directions. He was trying to do obviously the civil rights stuff. He was trying to do march for like jobs. He was trying to do equal housing in Chicago. He was all over the place. You know what was weird? What struck me the weirdest was like, so he was trying to march somewhere in the South, and it was a weird clique. It's like
the South.
It was white people with the swastikas, and we used to it now because like 2020. But to think about that, they adopted that
so quick.
Yeah,
20 years.
World War II was
20 years.
Y'all just hated them.
20 years.
Yeah.
25 years.
They just killed your grandpa.
World War II was 41.
This civil rights 60s. 20 years, but that was like their symbol so quick. They had posters, little 4-year-olds telling a nigga go home with a swastika. And that's what stuck out. It was weird to see that they adopted that so quickly.
Mm-hmm. And I want to mention this last week. What's so crazy about our nation is that we haven't done anything to rid ourselves of this evil shit that's a part of our history. Why don't we have a class that, teaches our students or teaches our kids about letting go the history that is the reason that George Floyd died?
Auntie Jane talked about that.
Who?
The white lady.
Oh, Jane.
She talked about that.
Well, what they would have to do is to teach that class about letting go history, then they would have to, in order to do that, they have to teach the real history.
Yeah, for sure.
Education is completely whitewashed.
Yep.
And it is in a
it's
place where
change, man.
They're not going to say things that make white people feel uncomfortable.
Yep. But the thing with the
slavery, it was Lincoln abolished slavery. It was bad. It's over.
The Nazi shit is so easy it should be easy to wipe away from because it was an enemy not long ago.
Can I say something to the people that think the Confederate statues?
The Confederate shit is farther away.
The Nazi shit is wiped away.
I'm saying.
I can't drive around with a swastika on my
right,
hood
because it would be crazy.
Germany.
In Germany, I was just about to say that. If you had a fucking statue of Hitler, even though he lost the war, and had the swastika flag flying around, people would go crazy. It's the same thing when I have to ride around and see a Confederate flag flying in somebody's yard.
Our history. Quit trying to erase our history of the South. Fuck you.
The South lost, and thank God they did.
Yeah, because it would be ugly today.
But if the people that believe in the South having their history shown saw a Hitler statue in Germany, they would be like, "Wait, get that down.
It's not supposed to be there.
Where's the UN? We get that down." It's sickening.
It's sickening, man.
It's doing a terrible job of hiding your prejudice when you do shit like when I found out that there's a monument to Confederate soldiers in Indianapolis, it doesn't line up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Why is there a monument to soldiers for the enemy?
The rebirth.
Because they're racist.
Yeah.
I'll give Southern states. I guess I get it.
No, that's not cool, man.
No, but it's historic because it was there. Indiana has no ties to the Confederacy.
That's real. Well, we deep with the Klan in here.
Yeah, but like Indiana helped the Union out. Like if you put anything Confederate here, you're clearly trying to let us know that you feel away.
To me, it symbolizes. I know I keep on saying this, how deep rooted this shit is. Why am I able, as a black man in America, to walk around a neighborhood that has a Confederate soldier statue in the park where I live with my family, reminding me of the atrocities that my people have faced and that we've been dealing with for centuries? It really
is a way of saying we wish they would have won, but they didn't. They fought so valiantly, nigga.
Nah, man, let that shit go.
They fought hard. He was a great leader.
Let's move on. That's all I got for news. Shout out to the Marine Corps for banning the Confederate flag.
Thank you.
I see y'all.
That's honestly ridiculous.
What you mean? Oh, it took this long?
The Marines were founded in 1776.
And I know they got some soldiers that love to say nigger, and they can't. Not in 2020.
Hoorah, nigger.
What'd you say,
Connor?
Connor?
Was Army.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What'd you say?
What's this nigger doing in the Marines? They can't swim.
I'm gonna tell
My favorite
Lieutenant.
is you weren't even allowed to be in this program when it started. 4 years ago, you wouldn't even been in here. Okay.
You've heard that before.
No, I haven't. I saw it on TV recently.
Well, I'm taking that to the
right.
I'm taking that to the captain, lieutenant immediately. Thank you.
And the lieutenant says, "Okay."
Right, possibly. We don't know.
Maybe.
The lieutenant is.
It's just odd where it's things being uncovered that you would assume would have been done years ago.
Crazy.
That hadn't been
I'm not
done
letting
yet.
this go. The Ku Klux Klan should be considered a terrorist organization in America.
Facts.
Like you look at what they're like, they hate black people. Seriously.
Yeah, it's like that's what they
It's
do.
in their what you said, mission statement. It's in their mission statement.
Yeah.
Even the most vicious gangs, like Crips, they hate Bloods, other niggas. If the Crips was like, yeah, we're here to eviscerate white people, it would have been wiped out
banned
long ago.
Immediately.
Long ago. Bloods and Crips hate each other.
Yeah. But the KKK, good.
Hates a race of people.
But a couple of them.
My rights, freedom of speech.
They hate them all. We just like the entree. You know.
Oh, they
Show
do.
us your face.
Yeah, they do. They got a little Jew pudding.
Yeah,
over
exactly.
here,
Definitely.
You know, what I'm
little
saying?
Asian vegetables.
Little Asian corn. You know what I mean? But that steak,
Oh, the game's a dessert. They're sweet.
Oh yeah,
that
definitely.
medium steak
They're
right
the
there.
sherbet.
They're the sugar at the end.
Right, that's
sir.
reserved for us.
Next.
Yeah, that nigger steak.
T-bone. Next.
Porterhouse.